Hello, Professor. Hello, class. First, a little background information about myself. I've been working in the retail operation field for the past 7 years in various roles and companies. Though the specificities of the roles in the companies vary, one constant is the mass amounts of data. One of the main responsibilities is inventory management. Today, we'll be looking at spreads and models through dashboard and Power View and how inventory management could be better accessed with these tools. This requires one to have visibility into the amount of inventory that the company has on hand, what has been ordered, and what color, what size, and the value it holds, and ultimately to be able to see any trends in the ebb and flow of the inventory. Today, we will be looking at data that was gathered through an inventory management software for a fitness and lifestyle brand and the orders that placed in 2015 year to date. Let's begin. Our first dashboard, we are looking at the number of units we have based on category. This is useful to see what products were purchased and how much of it. When adding a slicer to this, we can easily see how many of units X in what category were bought in various months. For example, in March, we can see the numbers change drastically from what was purchased in August. With the dashboard, we are able to see and give a quick overview of the categories on the x-axis and the units to the y-axis. Along with each month, we're easily able to jump between them and see any variations and trends that come within month to month. So here in this dashboard, we are looking at the average retail price versus the average cost by category. Once again, we have our categories on the x-axis and the retail price and the cost on the other axes. Obviously, in a business, it is very important to make sure that there's a good margin between what you're charging the customers and what you're charged by your vendors. In adding a splicer of the various months, we are also able to see how each category trends through months, whether there's ebbs and flows also in these months. Merchants can go into them and see whether it is better to increase retail prices or to lower our costs. In our next dashboard, we will be looking at purchase orders by inventory value. This is both important in an inventory management perspective and also in an auditing perspective. It is clearly important to know the value of inventory on hand and that's been purchased. Below, on the x-axis, we're able to see the inventory value by delivery month. A splicer was added for both category and vendor. In doing so, we can easily figure out what was ordered and delivered on what month. Let's take an example of short sleeve shirts. We could see the variances in the inventory value in short sleeve shirts, and we can also be able to be more specific in seeing what vendors we have. Let's look at short sleeve shirts with Nike. Here we can easily see the inventory value of short sleeve shirts that we have on hand with Nike. So with this, we can easily see the inventory value of short sleeve shirts with our vendor Nike. Now we can also try comparing it between Lululemon. We see these numbers change quickly, the snap of the finger, or whether it's with the vendor Next Level. I've taken the filters off both these slicers, so now it should show all the inventory and all the months that is on hand at the moment. On the opposite end, we could also go from vendor to category. For example, we can see how much inventory value that we have on hand for a vendor LA Made, and that they are doing long sleeves, sweatshirts, and tanks. And now to go even deeper, let's see what their long sleeves shirts have. So right now we can clearly see the inventory from February through September, showing us what we have bought and perhaps what we will buy. For our final dashboard, we've decided to display one which shows the top units by color. I've also added a splicer dividing it up by categories. On our dashboard, we only displayed the top 10 colors. However, in 2015, there are numerous amounts of colors being purchased. We decided to go with the top 10, black being overwhelmingly the top color. Is black something that is just being skewed by a certain category? We can try and find out by clicking on various categories. In capris, it is also the top color. What about in headbands? And headbands as well. Perhaps in gloves, it won't. I guess in gloves as well. Last try. And in bandanas, we see that black has dropped off and that the top color is gray. This is a great tool to show what top colors have been purchased so far, but what happens if we wanted to know how it looked in a month? We could just easily go and add another splicer for months. Insert a splicer, choosing delivery month. Here we can now perhaps see it in January and in bras, much the same way we did with the dashboard above. So this was a dashboard showing various amounts of displays easily from a top overview perspective. One last thing we'll take a look at today is the power of a power view. In this power view, I've decided to use the power of the power map. Here, we're able to see the vendors and where they're located, their wholesale value, and by category. Each large portions depict the larger value of its wholesale value. Here, we're able to pop open this map for more real estate. Zoom in closer. We're seeing that we hover over the map and we see that Hawaii has categories of hats and the wholesale value of $20,000. With this power map function, we are given this tool to see in a very visual aspect where the inventory is coming from. We see that Florida has quite some inventory, whereas Texas has quite a bit. If we highlight the categories, perhaps say capris light up, or bras light up. Let's look closer into what Texas has for us. We see that the capris are at this value of $1,200,000, and when looking over at bras is a little bit over $200,000 in wholesale value. This gives the merchandiser plenty of categories and tools to play with to see how long product will take to reach their warehouses. Let's pop this back in and take a look at where our warehouses are located at. On our power map below, we see this is where our warehouses are. And there are three main locations, one in New York, one in Bayonne, New Jersey, and one in Linden, New Jersey. We could see that just by the circle and the size of the circles that the majority of the inventory is stored in Linden, New Jersey. The same tools apply. Whether hovering over the circle, we're able to rotate between the different categories, seeing its values. Whether it's in Bayonne, we see, given the address, the value amount, the wholesale value amount. This is a great way for merchandisers to understand and know where the value of the inventory is being stored. Often when dealing with large amounts of data, often more than 3,000 lines or so, it can get very overwhelming. So with these tools, with the dashboard and power map, we are able to use these in a very high-level, comprehensive, user-friendly way. I hope you learned that a few ways you can use the dashboard in inventory management, and thank you for your time.